wanting to get someone a gift, but you don't have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of cash. So you decide to make something. Well, melting crayons on canvas is definitely a great idea. This is a fun, easy idea that works great as a gift. It creates trendy wall art with only a few steps. It's so simple that kids can even do it, but with adult supervision, of course. Now, let me discuss a little bit about the background of the Crayola crayon. According to Crayola, they were not the first to make the crayon. It was actually the Europeans who used charcoal and oil to make their crayons. Crayola states, Crayola crayons were invented by Benny and Smith in 1902 and offered for sale in 1903. Alice Steve Benny, a schoolteacher and wife of co-founder Edwin Benny, suggested the company manufacture an inexpensive alternative to imported crayons of that era. Crayola crayons are made primarily of paraffin wax and colored pigment. The Crayola brand celebrated their 100th anniversary in 2003, and today we manufacture over 3 billion crayons each year. Now that I've given you a little background about the Crayola crayon, let me discuss the steps on how to make your own melting Crayola crayon project. There are 3 steps. They are gathering the materials, preparing the materials, and actually doing the project. First, let me begin with gathering the materials. I went to my local Walmart. A person can go to whichever store he or she prefers best. I picked out the materials. I chose a canvas. Typically, a person would pick a larger one. I chose this one for demonstration purposes because it's smaller and it's easier to demonstrate. I chose the 64 pack of Crayola crayons because it has a better selection of crayons. I chose some glue sticks for my hot glue gun. And I also chose black paint to paint my canvas. But this is an optional step. It makes the colors pop better. Susie, a DIY projectee, priced this project at $9.60. How inexpensive! She also stated the whole project would only take about an hour and a half. That's definitely not long at all. This leads me to my second point of preparing the materials. First, I laid out the materials, and this would be the time where I painted the canvas black. I then let it dry, and after I let it dry, I put the glue stick into the hot glue gun, and I let that heat up, and I plugged in my hairdryer. Now, we are at my final point of actually doing the project, which this is the fun part. First, I took out all the crayons that I was going to use out of the Crayola box, and I placed them in the order of which I would put them on the canvas. The next step was that I took the wrapper off of the crayons. I actually saw online where a person could take the crayon and put it in water for about 2 seconds, and it helped the wrapper come off a lot easier. But that's just an option. But after the wrappers are off of the crayons, I took the hot glue gun and I glued the crayon onto the canvas, and I kept going until I finished all the way down. And after they're all glued on, I took a newspaper, and I also chose to wear old clothes because this can actually be a messy project because the hairdryer can make the wax blow everywhere and it can get on your clothes. So I chose to wear old clothes. Now, after they're all glued on, I took the hairdryer and I tilted canvas down, and I turned it on, and I did it in about in a few sections because that helped it run down better. But after you keep going, I kept going until I finished the entire thing, kind of controlled it with the hairdryer. But after that, it will typically look like this. This is how mine turned out. But after that, I was basically done. The project was done. So clearly, one can see that this is a great project for a present for one to do whenever he or she may be short on cash or short on time. The 3 points of gathering the materials, preparing the materials, and actually doing the project. According to Artist Caterpillar, this is a 2 on a scale of 5, with 5 being the most difficult. So the next time a person needs a gift that's fast and simple, remember this beautiful and simple project.